Here are some of the cool new additions to Need for Speed Unbound in Volume 2. This update comes out on the 21st of March. Free for everyone, whatever platform you're playing on, you're good to go. I got a chance to play this update over the weekend, so thank you to EA Creator Network for the early access. But what is the best addition to Need for Speed Unbound? It has to be the cops in multiplayer free roam. Yes, finally, we have cops. Finally, it took so long, but it's finally here. And it's so good. There was about 8 of us in a full server, all getting chased by the cops at the same time. It was kind of crazy. There's so many cops, it's just insane. But yeah, it's such a cool feeling to have multiplayer cops finally in the game. Would love them to be added to the races. Also, a slight nitpicky part of cops, I'd say, is you don't get much money for taking down a cop. So you get $200 and that's it. I would definitely like to see more money given to taking down maybe a SWAT vehicle or a higher tier vehicle, for sure. I think $200 is maybe a little bit low, and then maybe a sort of extended amount of money for the longer the pursuit goes on. So if you keep getting chased by a 5 heat level, that money will keep going up. I would like to see that. But yeah, the cops are finally in Need for Speed Unbound on multiplayer, finally. The next coolest addition is hot laps. These are so addictive. So this is an activity, a brand new activity. You can earn decent money from these as well. So they're basically around 30 seconds to a minute long. They're very quick. I just end up going round and round trying to improve my time. Getting that rival time is actually quite difficult. So you need a very good vehicle. On multiplayer, I didn't have a very good vehicle, so it's quite a challenge, and I quite enjoyed that challenge as well. This is a really cool addition, and it sort of opened up parts of the map I've not really explored yet. I was like, I've never been here before. Some really sort of nice, intricate level design. I'm on the train tracks, I'm going over like bridges, I'm going off-road, on-road, and they're very short and snappy. Like if you want to jump on the game for half an hour, maybe do a few hot laps, you can do that. And again, they're fully revealed on the map. You can find the nearest hot lap available, and they're very fun and challenging and addictive. But I would like to see some kind of overall leaderboard for the best ultimate time out of everybody, or maybe a friends list, something like that, just so I can compare my times against other people. It's a pretty easy thing to implement, I would imagine. That'd be a really cool addition. Hot laps would be even more addictive if that happened. We also have a brand new secret vehicle I've got the chance to try out. It is the Mercedes-Maybach. Finally, we got a new vehicle in the game. As a DLC. It is free as well, which I must admit, it's very cool. So this is a 6-litre V12. It is ultimate luxury. It's an A-tier vehicle, and I'm not gonna lie, it's very heavy. It feels heavy. It feels a bit. It can sort of like give you a really like heavy hit against the cops, but in terms of winning races, I think this car's not going to be ideal. But there's some pretty cool customization options. There's some really cool body kits and some various customization you can do. Haven't fully upgraded the vehicle yet to see its full potential, but as like an A-tier vehicle, as a vehicle to race in and actually win, particularly online, might be tricky. But still, it's cool to have a new vehicle. The plus is obviously it is free. It's with the free update. But again, I would like more cars in this update. Volume 2, it came out in December, it's now March. I want more vehicles as soon as possible, please. Pretty please. I do love a good new vehicle. A vehicle that can actually compete online would be lovely. Next up is probably the biggest new sort of addition, really, in terms of multiplayer, is the balancing. So in the sort of previous, I guess, Volume 1, basically you could buy a Ferrari, you could downgrade it 2 categories, and that would easily be the best vehicle in the game in terms of a B or an A tier event. Now you can only go down 1. You can go down 1 tier. So for me, this might be one of the biggest additions for Need for Speed Volume 2, is the payouts are now a lot bigger. A lot bigger. So we're talking for a full playlist, so that's 8 people playing, 87,400 for a full playlist, and that is across the board. So B events, A, S, and S+. They're all exactly the same. In the previous release, you wouldn't get much money, which was kind of annoying, so it was very hard to upgrade, buy that new vehicle, and S+ would always give you the most money. So everybody would just be doing S+ events all the time. I love this edition. It's such a cool edition. And also for full endurance playlists, you will earn a max, again, with if there's 8 people in the playlist, of 65,550. A dramatic increase on what you earned previously. I think it's almost maybe double. So the game is now, for me, much more approachable, a lot more fun, and definitely like this change. It's a big change, but it's definitely a good one. That, alongside the new events, the new playlist, the refresh, it's good. A nice little quality of life improvement is the fact you can now tag, the tag effects you get on the vehicles, can now be individually assigned to every vehicle. So normally in the past, you'd have a new tag, you'd equip it, and it'd be equipped across all vehicles. That's now changed. So this one's a tiny bit negative. This car has been teased for a very, very long time before the release of Need for Speed Unbound, the Fairlady Custom. It looks incredible, by the way. I love the look of this car. Not something I would particularly do myself, but finally we can actually use it. It's an EA Play vehicle, so that means you have to subscribe to EA Play, which for me, I think is a negative. I don't really see why, particularly if you have the Palace edition of the game. You've bought the game day one, and they're now making you get EA Play so you can get this car. Not particularly fond of that, honestly, but it's a cool build. It looks great, I won't lie. It's a very good looking Fairlady Z. Used it. There's not many upgrades on it as well. It's a pretty standard car, but it's good in terms of fulfilling your classes. So if you have maybe a weak B class or a weak A class, this vehicle might be perfect to sort of fill that gap. But again, you got to pay for it, which is, again, disappointing. Reward your customers, EA. Don't punish us, particularly Palace Edition owners. Like, reward them, just give them a free car. We've got one car with this update, and then the second car, which is basically a build, you have to pay for, which is, again, disappointing. This one's quite small, but little tiny UI improvements, particularly with multiplayer. So in a server, you can now basically see what the other people in the server are doing. So there's 16 potential people. You can see if they're racing, getting chased by cops. Are they in the garage? Are they just free roaming? And I really like that, because before you couldn't tell if people were ready to race, were they busy? And if you see like a big cop chase happening, you can see it quickly in the UI, on the HUD. You're good to go. Go and find that cop chase and join in. And it's definitely a very, very useful feature. Very tiny, but it's a really cool addition. The Lotus Emira is a new addition to the game. This is, well, it's not a new addition. It's a build, basically. A Balmain edition. I haven't actually unlocked this yet, because you have to unlock a Lotus, which takes a fair amount of time on multiplayer. And then you have to do you have to win free playlists with a Lotus to unlock that build. You do get it for free once you've done that, so I guess that's cool. But to actually originally unlock the Lotus, like I said, in multiplayer is difficult. Not difficult, it just takes a bit of time. So I haven't unlocked it yet. But again, it's cool to have a build, not a new vehicle, I guess, but a build in the game that you can unlock by just playing the game, which is good. So we've got a nice new refresh on the playlist. We've got new events, 4 new endurance events, 2 new rumble events, which is like a sort of off-roady jumps, and yeah, it's kind of chaotic. 2 new race playlists, and just a general refresh, basically, which is very, very nice. A very cool addition. I would like to see the next volume released a lot sooner. It did seem like the devs are very keen on saying this is the start of the sort of post-launch content. They have many more things planned. They're also reading comments and tweets, so if you guys have any suggestions on what stuff you want to see, certain vehicles or certain events or certain changes, let them know. I think their main focus is definitely the multiplayer, of course, and hopefully add in a few more vehicles, fingers crossed. But yeah, I played Volume 2 over the weekend, and it's the most I've played Need for Speed since the launch of the game, and it's definitely a very good refresh, a good reset, and I'm definitely excited for you guys to jump on March 21st. Expect some more Need for Speed Unbound videos, and I might do a live stream on the sort of launch date of Volume 2, so March 21st. See you guys soon, have a good day, and bye-bye.